Hi, I am Dr. Lauren Wallace. I am one of the primary care physicians at St. Luke's Miller Creek Medical Clinic. I always tell people the most important thing is that they are in control of their health. We talk about joint decision makings. It's a decision that we make together on what's the next step. I want them to improve their health, right? That's the whole goal of medicine. And so we sit down and we talk about, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And then we make a plan. How do we get to that point in the healthiest way possible?
For your heart, for your hope, for your health. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Blue Green, Duluth Blue Green FC Soccer here from the Blue Green Stream Team alongside Joe Mooney, our production engineer, John Law, and our camera person, Terry Anderson. This is Matt Johnson coming to you live from Public School Stadium here in Duluth, where the Blue Greens playing their second home match of the 2023 NPSL North Conference race here. The Blue Greens coming in this contest 3-0 now on the season, coming off a 1-0 win against La Crosse Aris last time out. They're taking on the Joy Athletic Club of St. Louis Park for the one and only visit by the Billy Goats up to Duluth here. Beautiful night for soccer here, by the way, in the Twin Ports of Duluth in Superior. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Very dry, not a lot of wind, and not a cloud in the sky. So we're looked out here so far. 2 days of home games, 2 days of beautiful weather for Blue Green soccer. And as I turn to Coach Mooney, the Blue Greens sitting right where they want to be. Coach, 3-0 on the season, perfect 9 points in the table. And right now, again, with a chance to make it 4-0 here tonight against a Joy St. Louis Park team that 1-1 on the season, but they have a nice win under their belt already, and it should be a very competitive game here tonight in Duluth.
Matt, really looking forward to this one. I think this is one of the ones that you look ahead at the schedule and you circle on your calendar. You mentioned it here for Duluth, 3 games, 9 points, right where they want to be that way. 2 away games, 6 points out of those 2 away games, and 2 clean sheets on the road as well. So the only goal conceded was last week here. Early in that game, what was it, 3 minutes in, I think, and the only goal in the season to be conceded. So, I think they've kind of established sort of a pragmatic look to them. Very hard to break down defensively. And that said, I think we've all kind of agreed that, maybe they could be a little bit more on the offensive side. Hopefully we see that tonight. But that said, I mean, they've got 7 goals here in 3 games. So it's not like they're in a scoring drought by any means either. But I think we are looking for that prolific side to come out of them a little bit more tonight.
And the Blue Greens had their tightest contest so far of the NPSL season to date. Last time out, they defeated, again, Lacrosse Aris to go to 3-0 in the season by the score of 1-0. Wednesday night, that game was played at Logan High School down in La Crosse, and that was a contest, Coach. Very physical game going back and forth between the two teams. Both teams created quite a few chances, but finally it was Kostya Domoratsky getting the Blue Greens the victory in the 77th minute. His 3rd goal of the season off a cross that was floated to the back post. He came in and then tucked it underneath Ernesto Ascenzo, the starting keeper for Aris, into the side netting to give the Blue Greens a hard-fought 1-0 win. But like you said, not necessarily the sharpest game for the Blue Greens last time out against Aris, but when you can get 3 points, even if you're not sharp on the road, you take that in a heartbeat, and that's exactly what the Blue Greens were able to do on Wednesday.
Yeah, Matt, we were just talking about this with some of the other folks up in the booth. It was a really hard game to establish any kind of rhythm. A lot of stoppages, a lot of fouls in the game. I think that was part of Lacrosse's plan was to frustrate Duluth, and they did a good job of that. We talk about the goal from Kostya. Really, I think he actually mishit the ball, kind of drove it down into the turf, but a ball floats in like that. A good assist from Stefan Robe, the ball floats in. He puts it low and hard, and good things happen when you do that, right? So, kind of one of those games where some of maybe the more quality chances were ushered away, but the persistence paid off, and like you said, got the 3 points on the road, and that's what matters.
And Stefan Robe getting the assist on that one. He's become a reliable offensive presence for Duluth already this season. Has Robe. He's got a couple of assists, also got a goal in there. Of course, he scored the first goal at their against Sioux Falls, in their home opener last week. So Robe assisting on Domoratsky's 3rd goal of the season, team leading 3rd goal of the season. He's also got an assist so far this year for Domoratsky to give Duluth the 1-0 victory. Connor Behan and Felipe Artiega, by the way, and one of your players, UWS starting goalkeeper Alex Paredes, got the start for the Blue Greens. First time in 2 years that he's gotten in between the posts for the Blue Greens, and he played all 90 minutes and picked up the clean sheet and goal. Must have been nice to see that.
Oh, I was very happy with Alex's performance. Obviously as somebody that's watching him with a keen eye for the fall, right? And it came up big right away. Less than 3 minutes in the game, one-on-one opportunity, and made the save, and actually got a little bit banged up on that play, but was able to finish out the rest of the game. Kept a road clean sheet. He's still a little bit worse for wear right now, but I'm sure he'll have a pretty speedy recovery. Just kind of a mid-season knock, I think, for him. You mentioned Connor Behan. Really good to see him in and playing. He had picked up a little bit of a knock right in the first week of training, and I thought he covered a lot of ground, was all over the park, and really just kind of provided a bit of the engine for Duluth. Really fun to see him in his first outing, and I think he'll bring that same kind of presence today.
Yeah, he'll be starting in the midfield. We'll get those lineups too when we come back from our first break here. So that's where the Blue Greens are at. 7 goals, by the way, for Duluth FC through 3 games. Scored so far for Duluth FC, just 1 goal again. So like you said, not giving up much defensively, scoring enough offensively to get those points. Meanwhile, Joy Athletic Club, the Billy Goats, 1-1 overall in the season. They've split their first 2 games of the campaign. They defeated Lacrosse Aris as well in their first game, 3-1. That game was played on May 13th before falling to Med City in a tight contest, 3-2 on Saturday. Both those contests were played at Oriole Stadium in St. Louis Park. So this is the first time that they have been on the road so far here in 2023. Against Med City, the Ghosts took an early 1-0 lead when Noah Kantorowicz scored in the 21st minute before the Mayhem even matters in the 38th. They were tied at 1 at the break, and then Med City took a 2-1 lead in the 58th minute before Zinedine Croton, a St. Cloud State product, scored in the 72nd minute to make it a 2-2 contest. Med City's Tristan Jamu finally gave Mayhem the win with a goal in the 81st minute to make it a 3-2 final. Carlos Loyo got the start and goal and went all 90 minutes to take the loss for Joy Athletic Club. That's where they're at, 1-1. He will not start tonight, but so far, plenty of goals for Joy Athletic Club, and look like they're going to be a quality competition here tonight as well, Coach.
Yeah, Matt, I think, like I said, one of the games that I've had circled, on the calendar here, I think a good matchup. I think they, have only kind of progressed over the last couple of years as a club. I think even more structure to them now, and they've got some guys in that squad that can really punish you. We saw it against Med City earlier in the week, which again is another good club. And so to get a couple goals in there, and they were actually fairly stout defensively early on in the game. I do think that they'll be hard to break down. And like I said, I think that they can break out quickly and have guys that can punish you in certain areas of the pitch.
So that's the story here as we head into the second home date of the 2023 NPSL North campaign for the Duluth FC Blue Greens. And with that being the case, we'll take a quick break and come back with a look at the Blue Greens starting lineup that's coming up right after this. This is Duluth FC Soccer brought to you courtesy of the Blue Green Stream Team.
I always tell people, we talk about joint decision makings. It's a decision that we make together on what's the next step. I want them to improve their health, right? That's the whole goal of medicine. And so we sit down and we talk about, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And then we make a plan. How do we get to that point in the healthiest way possible?
For your heart. For your hope. For your health. You are why we're investing in new technology and treatments. You're why we're committed to high-quality, compassionate care. So while you're focused on today, we're ready to care for your tomorrow. St. Luke's, for your future.
Hi, I am Dr. Lauren Wallace. I am one of the primary care physicians at St. Luke's Miller Creek Medical Clinic. I always tell people the most important thing is that they are in control of their health. We talk about joint decision makings. It's a decision that we make together on what's the next step. I want them to improve their health, right? That's the whole goal of medicine. And so we sit down and we talk about, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And then we make a plan. How do we get to that point in the healthiest way possible?
Saturday evening here in Duluth, and as usual, we'll give the starting lineups for Duluth FC here tonight. The Blue Greens coming into this contest, like I said, 3-0. A couple of lineup changes from Wednesday night's contest against Lacrosse Aris. We'll get right to it here, starting in the middle. Back in the starting lineup, Jake Starling. He took the day off against Lacrosse Aris in the middle, gave way to a couple of Blue Greens who got their first looks at central defense, but he is back in there, and good to have number 3 back in the middle defensively, Coach.
Yeah, the veteran defender there taking a pro day, huh? Just taking, giving the legs a break. And
we call that load management if you're in the NBA.
Absolutely. He's and you know what, Jake, you've earned it. He's had a terrific start to the campaign here, a couple of really good games off the bat. And this is the advantage of having such a deep squad, is you're able to rotate guys and preserve guys like Jake, who you're going to need him, in a lot of big matches throughout the year. So I think smart play from the coaching staff there, and excited to see him back in action tonight.
He'll be joined in central defense by Dylan Zavattini. We already know about Zavattini. He scored what proved to be the game-winning goal a week ago against Sioux Falls. He gets the start in the middle tonight as well, alongside Jake Starling. Meanwhile, starting at midfield, Andreas Solaris. Seems like he's just sort of penciled into that spot every game, Coach, and why not? Usually plays about 80 to 90 minutes and as reliable as it gets in that holding midfield role. Yeah, between him and Kostya, who we'll talk about here in a minute, I think the two of them have really proven to be the best two players in the squad, kind of the driving force here. Andreas is just all over the park and rarely makes a mistimed tackle or a mistimed ball. Just a terrific player and really the anchor, I think, in the link between the back four and the rest of the field. Playing up top in the front three for this 4-3-3 formation for Duluth FC. Kostya Domorodski scored the game winner against Lacrosse Eris. Now the team leading score 3 goals and a single assist so far for the native of the Ukraine. And a guy, very versatile player. They've been moving him around a little bit, played on the wing a bit. Of course, last year played a lot of central midfield for the Blue Greens, and he gets a start as usual again in the attacking role for Duluth FC at that number 10 spot.
Yeah, Matt, and I mentioned this in the broadcast last week. I think it's been really good to see him. Not just, I mean, last summer he was terrific, right? Just a very strong player. But this summer, I think he's just really kind of taken the squad, put him on his shoulders, and he's been just terrific to watch here the first 3 games.
Miles Edmondson back in the lineup as well. He gets the start on the outside. Missed the game against Lacrosse Eris. Back in the lineup tonight. He'll play one outside back position on the left-hand side for the Blue Greens. Starting in midfield, Rory Doyle, who has been already a solid contributor for Duluth FC. He'll start at one of the midfield slots alongside his fellow countryman and Connor Behan, who got his first appearance as a Blue Green last time out on Wednesday against Lacrosse Eris, and I know you were pretty happy with what you saw from him for the most part.
Yeah, again, Matt, I thought he was terrific. Covered a lot of area and was really just the engine, I think, in the midfield, and brings a lot of quality on the ball as well.
First home appearance also coming up for Colin O'Mahony. This is a player that the Blue Greens and the fans have been waiting to see for a few weeks now. He is now with the club, and he will get a start up top for the Blue Greens here tonight. He'll be joined by Tom Akinola up on top. Akinola, strong forward, real good defensive player in terms of putting pressure on, and he gets another start up top. Another guy who did not start, or did he start? I can't remember against Lacrosse. Did he start? I don't think he did.
Matt, that was
that was 3 days
literally days ago.
Anyway,
So.
Tom Akinola, apologies, Tom, if you did start, but he gets the starting nod here tonight. Also starting on the outside, no surprise here at the right outside back position, Stefan Robe, who has already made himself a big-time contributor this year. A couple assists for him. He also has a goal, and he assisted on the game winner from Kostya Domorodski on Wednesday. Good to see Stefan, again, staying on that right outside back position.
Well, Matt, we mentioned the stats that he's added on the offensive side. There's not a stat line for this, but had 2 goal line clearances in the game on Wednesday. He's been as good as he has been, getting involved in the attack. Obviously, he's a defender, and his first priority is a defendant. He has been an absolute stout defender here in the first 3 games.
And then rounding out the Blue Greens starting 11, Ezekiel Foltz, former Sioux Falls Thunder player, got his first start as a Blue Green at home in the game against Sioux Falls a week ago. Did not start or play any minutes on Wednesday against Lacrosse Eris, but he gets the nod here tonight in the middle. He'll be backed up by James Price. We'll talk about the reserves here in just a second. But Foltz getting the start, and not a bad choice for the Blue Greens in goal here tonight.
Matt, I think they've got 3 really good goalkeepers, and I think hats off to Zeke, in his last start. Obviously, conceded the goal right away in the game, but really came back from that. I think the biggest moment of the match on that last Saturday night was the save that he made 75th or 77th minute to keep things at 3-1. We talked about it on the last broadcast. If that game had gone 3-2, I think it could have been a much different night, much different feel to that game, but kept them scoreless in the second half and was really terrific doing so.
All right, so those are your starting 11 for the Blue Greens, and there you get a full look at that 4-3-3 formation under acting head coach Greg Kilmore. An unlucky red card of sorts for Sean Morgan. He will not be on the sideline for the Blue Greens today. Greg Gilmore, the lead assistant, will take over in the head man role. He, of course, coached the last, about 20 minutes, I guess, of that game against Lacrosse Eris. On Wednesday, he'll coach the full 90-plus here tonight. And there you get a look again at the formation. O'Mahony, Akinola, and Domorodski up on top. Behan, Solaris, and Rory Doyle, the midfielders. And, of course, that back four we talked about earlier, Edmondson, Jake Starling, Dylan Zavatini, Robe, and Foltz. And on the bench, James Price, Felipe Artiega, who made his season debut for the Blue Greens on Wednesday. Paul Bobai, who has started a couple of games for the Blue Greens, also on the bench. Ken Pride, who started in central defense on Wednesday against Lacrosse Eris. He will be on the bench tonight. Tyler Limmer, who came in as a reserve, Manny Morales, and Kian Gantley, who also came on as a reserve for the Blue Greens against Lacrosse Eris. So those will look at the 18 for the Blue Greens, including the starting 11. And so with that being the case, we'll bring a close here to the pregame show here with Duluth FC Soccer here taking on the Joy Athletic Club of St. Louis Park. And with that being the case, we'll take a quick break and then throw things down to the field where we'll get the introduction of the two teams, courtesy of our public address announcer, Pat Sterner, the national anthem, and then eventually the opening kick of this NPSL North contest between the Blue Greens and Joy Athletic. That's coming up right after this. This is Blue Green Soccer brought to you by the Duluth FC Stream Team.
You can't kill me, not my spirit.
Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to Public School Stadium. Tonight's regular season NPSL match features from St. Louis Park, 1-1 Joy Athletic versus your 3-0 Duluth FC Blue Greens. Let's introduce the teams for tonight's matchup. First, the starting roster for Joy Athletic. Number 3, Marco Corona Duran. Number 4, Noah Kantorowicz. Number 7, Dimitri Nair. Number 11, Bennett Kwame. Number 12, Owen Salzwedel. Number 13, Zinedine Croton. Number 15, Joseph Tawa. Number 19, Mika Folstad. Number 22, Jorge Radia. Welcome back to PSL. Number 23, Jesse Juarez. Number 30, Ayub Ahmed. Coaching Joy Athletic, Arinzi Ezerique. Your starting 11 for the Duluth FC Blue Greens. Number 3, Jake Starling. Number 5, Dylan Zabatini. Number 6, Andres Solares. Number 10, Krusty Domoretsky. Number 15, Miles Edmondson. Number 16, Rory Doyle. Number 17, Connor Behan. Number 18, Colin Mahoney. Number 20, Tom Ekanola. Number 27, Stefan Robe. Starting in goal, number 35, Ezekiel Foltz. Coaching Duluth FC tonight, Greg Gilmore. Assistant coaches, Corey Bullheller and Craig Chudley. Referees for the evening, main referee Dan Sandell. Assistant referee, Tyler Dawson. Assistant referee, Connor Weberg. And fourth official, Megan Sanda. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem, sung by Abriana Schmidt. Abriana Schmidt is a high school junior from Carlton, Minnesota, and has been singing the national anthem in the Duluth area for 6 years. You can find her participating in productions at the Duluth Playhouse, Boat Club Productions, the County Seat Theater, or dancing at the 218 Dance Project. In June, she is heading to Belmont University in Nashville for their summer theater program. Abriana enjoys honoring our country and those who have served.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So the national anthem has been played, or sung in this case, by Abriana Schmidt, area high school student. Two teams have been introduced by our public address announcer, Pat Sterner, and we're moments away from the opening kick of this NPSL North Conference contest between the Blue Greens of Duluth FC and the Billy Goats of Joy Athletic St. Louis Park. Again, Matt Johnson alongside Coach Joe Mooney, and there you get a look at the NPSL North Conference standings, Coach. Duluth FC, as we talked about in the open, 3 wins from 3 games, 9 points sitting on top of the table. Med City in second right now with 7 points. Dakota Fusion with 4 points. Joy Athletic, tonight's opponent, with 3 points. The Twin Stars picking up their first win last weekend as well with 3 points, while the Thunder and Lacrosse Aris, Sioux Falls Thunder and Lacrosse Aris, pointless here so far in the early stages of the 2023 NPSL North Conference race. The Blue Greens and the Billy Goats meeting for the first time. They will meet again, by the way, in late June, on June 24th, in fact, at Oriole Stadium in St. Louis Park. That'll be a 7 p.m. opening kick, but we still have 90 minutes to play in this contest. And, Coach, as far as weather conditions, you couldn't ask for much better than this on a late May evening here, Saturday evening. Crowd still filing in. Looks like we're having a good gathering here tonight at Public School Stadium, but the Blue Greens and the Billy Goats about ready to get this contest underway, and we'll see if the Blue Greens can continue their winning ways here, looking for points 10, 11, and 12 here before the end of the evening. A reminder, by the way, our next broadcast will come up on Wednesday, the last day of this month, May 31st, taking on Med City right here. Games against the Mayhem, always very intense and very competitive. 7 p.m., the opening kick here from Public School Stadium. Coach Mooney and myself, along with the rest of our crew, will be on with the pregame starting at 6:45 or so. So that sets the stage here, Coach, and what are you hoping for, or at least looking for here from the Blue Greens, and for that matter, the Billy Goats here heading in this contest here on this Saturday evening?
Well, Matt, I'm trying to do the math in my head right now. I don't think there's any mathematical possibility that they end up on 11 points. Something went wildly wrong if that happens.
The math, it's either there are 3 points possibilities here. 11 is not among them.
Well done.
End of the night here. Exactly.
No, Matt, I think, like I said in the pregame, this is one of the games that you're looking forward to all season. I do think this is going to be one where there's going to be multiple chances. I would expect for both sides. I would expect kind of both sides coming into this one a fairly kind of even balanced start to the game. I would be surprised if there was a lot of action in the first 5-10 minutes, but I think the game will grow quite a bit early on and continue throughout the night.
Blue Green's about to break their team huddle, of course. As usual, they will be in the Celtic FC-inspired jerseys with the green and white hoop look. They'll be going from right to left here in this opening 45 minutes, while the Goats will be going from left to right. It looks like those are almost like dark pink jerseys, I guess? Pinkish.
Once again, Matt, left my color wheel at home. I'm no help to you.
Anyway, that gives you an idea of where the two teams are here as far as their jerseys anyway.
I'm going to go chartreuse.
Chartreuse, okay. You definitely have 3 girls in the house. I can tell that by that on the father side of things. And Joy Athletic kicks it off, and we are officially underway. Again, thank you for joining us here on this Saturday night for Duluth FC Soccer. Matt Johnson and Coach Joe Mooney. Hopefully you'll enjoy the broadcast here this evening between these two teams. As right away, ball sent in and headed back by Stefan Robe, the native of Königswinter in Germany. Back for Zeke Foltz, who gets his first touch in the opening minute. And here's Dylan Zabatini now. Scored the game winner against Sioux Falls last week here at Public School Stadium on a beautiful setup, by the way. As here now is Jake Starling. Playing a ball toward the midfield stripe, Kostya Domoratsky. The Blue Greens leading scorer on the season, getting his first touch, and now here's Andreas Solaris. Ball forward, now here's Connor Behan. Behan, one of 4 Irish players on this team. Sends the ball into the box. Here's Tom Akinola. Akinola now trying to turn. Has the ball taken off his foot momentarily, and now he'll go to the edge of the 18, far side.
Matt,
Go ahead, Coach.
Matt, good to see.
As this bending ball comes in, Edmondson now heading it across the 6. Ball still loose. There's a shot. Save is made. Ball kicks up in the air. Kostya Domoratsky trying to bring it down. The Goats nearly find themselves on the wrong end of a 1-0 score here in the first 5 minutes, Coach.
Well, Matt, I thought I was going to take away your goal announcement there for a second, the way that one developed.
Yeah,
I was just going to say it was really good to see Tom Akinola get involved right away, ball into his feet in the opening minutes. I think that's been something that has been missing a bit for him, and I think Coach Sean Morgan talking about that, just trying to find that central forward a little bit earlier in some of their sequences. So that was good to see, and obviously, it led to good production and almost a pretty clear-cut chance there.
Free kick here coming up, looks like for the Blue Greens. A little bit of confusion there as to whether the foul is going to be on Duluth FC or for Duluth FC. It looks like they've made up their mind. It is Blue Greens free kick, and now it looks like it'll be Solaris standing over here for Duluth FC, about 40 yards away from the goal to our left, being manned by Ayub Ahmed. Starting keeper here tonight for Joy Athletic. Zabatini now off the free kick. Switching the field near side, this is Jake Starling. Miles Edmondson back in the lineup. Here is the bending ball now from Starling. Running in now is Rory Doyle, trying to flick it around a couple of players. Turn and look, and now it's dribbled right out of bounds for our first corner kick of the game. A little bit of a mistaken touch there by the former Blue-Green Jesse Juarez.
Yeah,
see Jesse Juarez back, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a really nice summer for Duluth last summer. Very quality player, very technical player. Adds a lot of I think dynamic play to the outside, the fullback there.
So corner kick here coming in. Coach Domorotsky will be the one to take it here for the Blue Greens. Bends the ball back post, rising up, looking for it to drop. It was cleared away by the Goats. And now Joy Athletic will try to counter back. Pass to the outside, picked off Solaris, so trips over the ball. And now we'll have Jake Starling just giving a little forearm shiver there to
it's one way
Micah
to defend.
Folstead. So, yeah, we will have a free kick coming up. That was a pretty easy call to make there for our center referee here tonight, and that'll be a free kick here coming up.
Yeah, and a yellow card.
Immediate yellow card. I can't say I disagree with that call necessarily.
Yeah, I think he got dinged there because it was tactical. There was, numbers going forward for Joy, and then I think just sort of the obvious kind of extension of the arm as he pushed through.
So Jesse Juarez will take this one.
Tough to get your center back on a card so early.
Yeah. Juarez bending a ball in. That's over the top of everybody. And does it have enough to get over the end line? Not quite, but it will be touched out. Are they going to say it did go over the end line?
Yeah, they gave him the goal kick on that.
Okay. Wasn't quite sure if it had enough to get over the line, but center referee says yes, it did. So goal kick here for the Blue Greens, and now here's Miles Edmondson trying to take it outside. Got met over on that side by Zinedine Croton. Plays his college soccer for St. Cloud State, as we talked about in the open, Coach. A couple of St. Cloud State Huskies on this Joy Athletics squad. Noah Kantorowicz, one of the starters, also a St. Cloud State Husky. As is Noah Eklund, who is on the bench tonight for the Billy Goats, as off the throw. Here's the aforementioned Croton trying to get a ball through the middle, picked off by Connor Behan, and now the Blue Greens trying to counter back to their direction. And now here's a ball to the outside off the right foot of Colin O'Mahony, a guy who we were anticipating seeing sooner rather than later. Coach, quite the credentials for Colin O'Mahony, by the way. He's quite the star player, at least for his college club, is O'Mahony.
Yeah, and more of a fullback by trade. This one will be offside. More of a fullback by trade, but I know the coaching staff has said that they are very confident with him shifting up the field, and he's got enough quality to be, I think, a pretty electric player there in the front three. Yeah,
he's playing up top. Was the California Collegiate Athletic Association Defensive Player of the Year, and was also a first-team academic All-American this year, was O'Mahony. He had a 3.97 in kinesiology this year, Coach. So not only is he a really good soccer player, he's also quite the student as well.
Well, 1.97 higher than my GPA in college, Matt.
Give
or take a
you were
little
the
bit.
straight,
It wasn't that
straight
bad.
2.0 guy. Anyway, we're back to live action. Here's Jesse Juarez now. Heading it down, Rory Doyle, one of those Irish players. O'Mahony, of course, also one of them, as well as Solaris. As a take away from behind, Micah Folstead, no calls. The ball now comes forward and then touched into the 18 by Dimitri Nair. No problem for Foltz, as he races out to his right and smothers it off the turf here, Coach.
Yeah, Andres has got to be just quicker to get that ball. He's got to check his shoulder to see where the pressure is coming from. Took a heavy touch and really just didn't kind of make the effort to get to his second touch and kind of allowed the space in there for the defender to come and strip him.
Zavatini sending the ball long. Here's O'Mahony now trying to bring it down. And dance his way through a couple players. Now Akinola. Nice job of using his body there. Now here's a ball into space for the aforementioned O'Mahony. Trying to step through, try to play it wide. Nice sliding play that time. The weak side from Jesse Juarez to break it up. And now Joy Athletic trying to come back to their direction. Passing play a little bit too tight there.
Some really nice passing sequences here already from Duluth FC. Some entry into the final third. You saw just an example of Tom Akinola's strength there as he bodied off the defender.
There's a ball forward now. A little heel flick back. Here's Nair with it. Nair now into the middle. Bennett Kawami. Now they play it to the wide side. Foltz will stay where he is as they come in on the edge of the 18, and it'll go over the end line. Unable to clear it off the byline that time was Dylan Zavatini, and we'll have our first corner kick of the game here now for the Billy Goats of Joy Athletic. It'll be taken over there, looks like, by Dimitri Nair. And we'll have our initial corner kick from the far side corner flag here. As Nair bends it in, Foltz comes out on the punch, now sent right back in off the left foot of Croton. And it'll be now cleared near side. And we'll have a throw here coming up.
Sponsored by Lake Superior Real Estate Group.
As this throw now for Morez goes into the corner and now trying to cross it. Nice job that time to knock it down by Edmondson. And now it'll go over the end line and we'll have a goal kick here coming up. And taking it quickly here was Foltz. Outside here's Dylan Zabatini. He's nursing a bit of a dinged up shoulder after the game against Sioux Falls, but back in there tonight. And now a mistake by the Blue Greens as they tried to play it back for Foltz. Ended up playing it right over the end line again for a corner kick. So now both teams have done that.
Corner kick, sponsored by EW of Duluth.
Yeah, a couple early set piece opportunities here for Joy.
Here's Nair now bending this ball in, headed away. Nicely done that time. That was Rory Doyle who came over to get a head on it, by the way. Now it's sent back through the middle. Starling gets the head to it, to the outside. And now they're going to call a foul on Akinola, it looks like. And we'll have a free kick about 30 yards away from the Duluth FC goal here.
Yeah, it looks like Tawa just maybe had a little bit of the inside positioning on Tom there.
So a free kick here coming up for Joy Athletic as we're into the 10th minute now here. Good sequence from the Blue Green start. Created a good opportunity in the first 2 minutes. Since then, it settled down a bit here. So Croton will take this one himself. Takes a shot right off of Akinola, who was just standing there on his own. And now bent in, and nobody in a pink jersey can be able to get to that ball. So nothing dangerous coming from that. And Foltz now will take his time here. Foltz, who plays his college soccer, by the way, for Northwestern College in Iowa in a IA school. Distributes to the outside. That one broken up. Taken
Matt,
back.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that outlet ball there from Zeke. Kind of a long angle to get the ball there. You're going to put your fullback under immediate pressure with really no options for him to pass out of.
Here's Solaris now intercepting. Domorotsky now coming back in the middle now. Doyle playing catch with Domorotsky, trying to step through. Goes to Domorotsky, and now he gets hit. And that'll be the first foul that he draws. He draws quite a few fouls on a nightly basis, Coach, and that one going to be whistled against Joseph Tawa.
I was going to say, Matt, that's a familiar sight that we've kind of gotten used to here at PSS. Even last game, I mean, we saw him hit the deck, 7-8 times in the match.
He took some heavy fouls against Lacrosse also on Wednesday. Does that pretty often. And Coach is very, very good with his feet. For those of you who don't know, one of the more skilled players you'll see.
Well, and again, Matt, what he does so well with is he changes his speed and the rhythm so well. So he baits a defender in. The defender thinks he's got an angle to maybe get a toe poke on a ball, and he'll change speed as the defender is moving, and it changes the angle, and it puts him in position to get fouled.
Speaking of Domorotsky, here he is again, coming in near side. Here's a shot, deflects up in the air. Headed up, now cleared out of the danger area, at least for now, as Edmondson now will track back. Here's Starling. Jake Starling back for Miles Edmondson. A little bit too close there. Tight quarters. Blue Greens turn it over.
Good tackle.
And a tackle by Solaris, taking it off the foot of Owen Salzwedel.
Matt, that was a dangerous opportunity there for Duluth. If you're Joy, what you do not want to have is Kostya Domorotsky coming at you with space in front of him, isolated there on the corner.
Off the throw now comes in. Zabatini whiffs on the initial touch. Comes back though, here's Robe. Jake Starling now to the outside, Edmondson. Miles Edmondson, left-footed ball now into space. Well played. Akinola now on the run. And they'll touch it all the way back now for Ayub Ahmed, who gets the start and goal. Carlos Loya started the first 2 games of the season for Joy Athletic, getting the break here tonight. And now the Billy Goats will switch the field as they go to the far side. And another foul going to be called, this one on O'Mahony on that far side.
I think the officiating crew just trying to keep a pretty tight
I think they're trying
lid on it right now.
Not necessarily, I think, a bad thing at this time of the game, Coach, is you want to establish how you're going to call the game and let the players adjust to what level of physicality you will allow. As we continue now here, and Akinola had it momentarily, now loses out as they go all the way back for Ahmed in goal.
You saw Rory Doyle trying to press out there a little bit. He looks very active in the midfield tonight.
He does indeed. Started the first couple of games for Duluth FC, came off the bench against Eris.
Yeah, and I think again was just kind of an energy spark in that game.
Yeah.
I think we saw maybe a little bit of another level out of him in the game, and sometimes that can happen where you get a couple starts and then you get a bit of a rest and you get a chance to come into a game that's already established, and rather than trying to establish the rhythm and the pace of it, you come in and sort of try to take the level up a bit.
Well, Foltz collecting at the top of his own 18. He'll distribute near side. This is Jake Starling on the run for Kostya Domaratsky. Domaratsky in the middle. Here's Solaris. Andreas Solaris for Behan. Had to go right back to him, and nice spin and move that time by Kawami. To the outside now. Here's Dimitri Nair trying to make his way through traffic. Cleared away. Now Doyle. Doyle now. Akinola. Domaratsky. Well done to pick out Miles Edmondson near side. Now an angling run. Doyle will be the first one to get there, it appears. Taking it into the corner. Now he spins, and it's touched out by Marco Duran. We will have our second Duluth FC corner kick here from the near side corner flag. Domaratsky walking over to take this one.
Matt, you saw Bennett Kwame come out of that last sequence there with the nice spin move. We'll talk about him, I'm sure, throughout the night.
Taking it, playing it towards Domaratsky, edge of the 18. Now crosses it back post. Zabatini trying to head it down. Flag goes up. Call an offside, or are they going to call a foul here? It looks like offside is going to be the call.
Yeah, he came from an offside position, came back on.
Don't mind having Dylan Zabatini come up on those corners, though. We saw him score on a free kick like that. That was the game winner in that 3-1 win over Sioux Falls last week.
Matt, he is quite the athlete. When you get down pitch level and you're up next to him, you realize just how broad he is, how strong he is. Man, he really gets up in the air, and he is dominant in a lot of those aerial battles.
Yeah, played a lot of minutes this last year for the national runners-up at Division II, and now here's another offside flag. Is trying to bust his way through. Was the forward on that side, that being Owen Salzwedel.
Yeah, just leaning offside. I think he was probably a half step. It's the right call there, from our near side official, Connor Wiesberg, excuse me.
But going back to Zabatini, played a lot of minutes, 23 games in total. Started 19 games for the national runner-up. Colorado State Pueblo this last year, coach, and said really a nice player. As this ball coming in from Edmondson on the left foot, top of the 18, cleared away, and now back to the direction on the corner. Come the Billy Goats, angling ball far side. They are now trying to run past Robe, takes it into the corner. Gets the angle, then dribbles it out of play. We'll have a goal kick here for the Blue-Greens.
Great first touch there from there. When it first came off his foot, I thought it was going to start to run too far for him, but showed his speed on full display there and got to that second touch. And good job by Robe just to kind of clip the angle from him. But like I said, a really good first touch for him to get into that space.
Here's the aforementioned Dylan Zabatini. Now he'll send it far side for the German Stefan Robe. Robe now stepping through. Square ball to Solaris. With a high press here.
They've cued in on that. I think they're going to expect the ball to get into Solaris there and going to try to press him. And I think that'll be a battle worth watching all night, Matt. As they try, Duluth's obviously going to try to get the ball into Andre Solaris' feet there. You saw two players break to try to defend him. And it'll be a matter of can he continue to get the ball in and out quickly and try to find overloads in other areas of the pitch.
Well, dancing through, trying to dance through there was Rory Doyle. Now on the outside, Solaris picks out O'Mahony. Well done that time by Andreas Solaris. O'Mahony now left-footed ball, top of the 18. Flicked outside, edge of the 18. Here's Akinola. Akinola now trying to take it wide. Crosses it in, back post. Here's Domaratsky. Thought about taking the shot, gives it back. Edmondson with the bending ball and just misses the top corner with the left foot. Good look that time, though, by the Blue Greens coach, and nice patience by Duluth FC there.
Well, Matt, I'm going to bring this up too. You know, the first couple of games we saw Rory Doyle try to drop in a lot in between the center backs and almost taking some of the space away from Andres Solares. And I know that's been a point for Duluth, is to try to get him up higher at the pitch, and you see exactly why there. So we also have mentioned that Tom Akinola has probably not seen as much service as he would have liked to in the first couple games. When you get a player like Rory Doyle up higher, now you've got somebody to automatically combine with. So you've got essentially two target players there. That one went into Rory, eventually found its way to Tom, and you saw how creative Duluth could be off of that.
Offensively, it looks like the Billy Goats are running a 4-2-3-1, coach, which has become a popular formation. As now here's Edmondson, and overhitting that ball, overcooked it for Domorotsky, who was trying to make a run through. A little bit of a high line play by Joy Athletic on that one. And it'll be a goal kick here for Ayub Ahmed in goal. As off the restart, now far side of the field. Duran will play it wide. Robe steps through, and he'll win a throw in here for the Blue Greens. It's about to go into the 20th minute here. Pace has been a little bit slow here, coach, here so far. A lot of play between the 18s, we would expect here. Early season is Akinola.
Yeah, but really a couple good chances for Duluth FC. And on the other side, you know, Joy's already had 2 corner kicks and some set piece opportunities as well. So
here's Domorotsky now, edge of the 18. Stepping over, Kauster Domorotsky. Left-footed shot comes in, and there's the save initial for Ayub. He's had some of that skill again, going against his former teammate Jesse Juarez, but taking it wide. And a good look that time by Domorotsky. Those quick feet.
Yeah, Matt, you saw
the
the
Ukrainian, yeah.
Yeah, you saw the quick feet from Kostya there, and then one of the things that really impresses me so much about him is he doesn't need much wind-up to get a lot of power on his shots, and so it allows him to, with even just a half step of space, to actually get kind of a full-on shot like you saw there. It makes it really hard to defend and really hard for a goalkeeper to get his feet set.
Speaking of quick feet, look at Solaris just danced through about 3 players. Somehow was able to keep the ball on the near sideline, and then he gets taken out, and we'll have a free kick here. But how about that little bit of skill there from Andres Solaris?
Yeah, and something we've just kind of gotten used to,
Yeah.
you know, with Solaris. He is very crafty. A lot of times plays it a little bit more safely, you know, in the middle of the park, but as he ventures outside into the channels, you can see some of that skill come out. I'm actually a bit surprised that there wasn't a card there. It was a late enough challenge, and studs were showing.
O'Mahony now comparing notes here with Domorotsky, deciding what they want to do here. And it'll be O'Mahony on the left-footed ball. Into the middle. Ayub fumbles it, and it'll go over the end line. And we'll have a corner kick. Jake Starling was on that back post, but it's like Ayub Ahmed came out and misjudged that one a bit there, Coach.
Yeah, not sure what happened there.
So we will have a corner kick here. This time it'll go far side corner flag. Looks like it'll be O'Mahony that'll go over there and take this one with the left foot here. We'll shoot Domorotsky, by the way. The Blue Greens leading score on the edge of the 18 right now. Man-for-man marking here by Joy Athletic. Left-footed ball comes in the middle. Here's the header, and that one goes just wide. Zavattini coming through there, getting his head to it, Coach, and just missed that near post with that header.
Yeah, again, just shows his quality getting up in the air. He's kind of just a ball magnet, Matt, where he gets on the end of a lot of balls like that. Directed it well, just a little bit too much angle on it.
As off the restart, now on the outside. Here's Kwame. He met over there. O'Mahony. They played in the middle. Micah Folstead now to the outside for Dimitri Nair, and he couldn't keep it in. And it'll be a throw here coming up for the Blue Greens. I see what you mean, though, talking about Dylan Zavattini. Big, strong young man. And he'll be the recipient of this throw, by the way. Here's Starling now outside of the foot. Tracking back now, here's Doyle, Rory Doyle. Ottawa on him now. Will step over and create a little bit of space for himself. Domorotsky, square ball to the outside, Starling. Edmondson. Miles Edmondson. In the middle now, Doyle. Well done here by the Blue Greens as they switch all the way to the far side for Stefan Robe. Robe now, O'Mahony on the edge of the 18. Back for Robe. Trying to cross it in, and that one deflects out. It'll be a corner kick. Good buildup by Duluth FC there. Saw 7 or 8 passes in a row and able to create a corner kick.
Yeah, Matt, good sequence there, and I'm going to bring it back to Tom Akinola there. So the first couple of games we saw him stay really central, try to really be kind of that post-up player in sort of that center target. And you saw him take the angle actually all the way to the left, which gave Duluth this space as Joy had kind of gone to the left.
Now here's a corner kick coming in from O'Mahony in the middle of the 18. Doyle back. Here's the shot attempt. That one by Domaratsky. That one's probably will sting a bit. And it's deflected all the way. Now Solaris goes all the way back now. Miles Edmondson. Nice move that time by Edmondson. And then he overcooks the pass over the top, although Ahmed a little bit slow coming off his line, but able to grab that one off the turf. But Duluth FC finding a little bit of space now to work with here, Coach, on these build-ups.
Yeah, Matt, what I was saying back to Tom on the last sequence was that because he had brought his run all the way over to the left, it had forced Joy to shift their line to Joy's right, which gave Duluth FC space on their right side, and that's where you saw the sequence go. And I think it's good to see Tom Akinola, I think, playing a little bit outside just kind of the central zone there.
Got to look at the crowd there. Another good gathering here at home. Blue Greens had nearly 600 in the stands the other day for the home opener against Sioux Falls a week ago. So we'll have a similar crowd to that here tonight, would be my guess, as this one now goes out of play, and it will be Duluth FC throw. 25th minute here, still scoreless. Been pretty tactical so far, Coach, between the two sides.
Well, Matt, we'll know the exact number of attendance tonight by how many sunglasses are left at the table on your entry.
This is true.
I think VW Duluth had provided, I think it was 1,000 sunglasses, so hopefully none left, and that means that we're into 4 digits.
Here's the ball now across the middle. Domaratsky with the shot, and he scores! Goes to Domaratsky, back post. 25th minute, his 4th of the season, and it's 1-0.
Matt, and who else would it be, right?
Well, he's such a playmaker, Coach, and we've talked about this before, how much skill he has and how much versatility he has. He played, of course, central midfield all last year, and we keep talking about that, but they moved him up to a wing position on the 4-3-3 formation, and boy, he's found so much joy here so far. He scored 7 or 8 goals last year from the midfield slot, and he's on pace to do way more than that this year. But 4 goals now for Coach Domaratsky, and we'll see on, I think it was O'Mahony, by the way, on the assist. Don't quote me on that, but Domaratsky with the goal, and that was a sharp angled shot. I mean, that's not an easy finish to make.
Yeah, and you saw the initial slotted ball that came across had just missed Tom Akinola in the center of the park or center of the box, and Coach to finish his run there on the left side. And you're right, it's not an easy angle to hit there as the ball's coming from right to left and trying to bring it back across his own body. But took it very well, and it really a great goal to get Duluth started here tonight.
Yeah, 8th goal of the season for the Blue Greens. Still only giving up 1. And they lead at 1-0 here, so we'll have a free kick coming up. Bennett Kawami standing over it here for Joy Athletic. But at first I wasn't sure he was going to be able to get the shot off because it was low and it was hard driven deep in the 6. I thought Ahmed might be able to get his hand to it, but nice job by Coach Domaratsky, just, again, skillfully making his way through and then finishing with the left foot, which is, like I said, at that angle, not easy to do.
Well, Matt, for any youth players that are watching this is why your coaches talk to you about trying to finish first touch. When you have to take a second or third touch in the box, a lot of times what ends up happening is that goalkeeper has the time to slide across. This is an example of Ahmed not being able to get over there in time. So while it's a tough shot, a tough angle, taking it first touch like that gives him the opportunity to put it on frame before the goalkeeper can make that adjustment.
Foltz now getting the ball into his gloves. Will roll it near side. Here's Jake Starling again. Back for Zeke Foltz. Dylan Zabatini now on the right foot.
And Matt's second goal of the Greg Gilmore era here.
Yeah, Coach Domaratsky certainly has liked playing under Coach Gilmore. That's his second goal. So he's got 2 now under each individual coach who has been the headman, quote unquote, the headman here for the Blue Greens. And there's Domorotsky again off the throw. Now stepping inside with the right foot. Koster Domorotsky, Connor Behan. Rory Doyle now trying to step through. Here's Domorotsky. Edmondson, edge of the 18. Behan now trying to spin. Steps through, gets a shot away, plays it in the middle. Here's Akinola. Turning, and he scores!
All right, really calm, composed finish there from Tom Akinola. But a lot of the credit's going to have to go to Connor Behan on what he did on that turn. The nifty footwork to get into the box. That was a really sharp turn and quality pass into Akinola there. What a goal.
Yeah, Behan the assist. Akinola in the 29th minute. 2 goals in 4 minutes for the Blue Greens, and they lead it now 2-0 here against Joy Athletic. And now the Billy Goats are having a team meeting 30 yards away from their goal. And it's one of those situations where they got to clean things up a little bit on that end of the field. But the Blue Greens passing has been right on the money. Talked about the fact that the passing wasn't as sharp against La Crosse Eris on Wednesday, Coach, but they seem to have gotten over that. And the passing has been very, very sharp here so far through the first almost half hour now.
Yeah, Matt, we talked about a lot of the sequences that we saw early on in the game are now starting to pay dividends a little bit.
As off the restart now. There's a ball forward, intercepted. Starling. Rory Doyle now to the outside. Domorotsky, Koster Domorotsky stepping through on the overlap. Edmondson, left-footed ball. Here's Akinola, and he scores! Two goals in 2 minutes for Tom Akinola, the assist to Edmondson on that one, and it's 3-0 in favor of Duluth FC.
Really nice slotted ball there from the winger on the left, from Miles. And what a quality finish there from Akinola to get across.
Well, we had talked about how the Blue Greens have been really kind of building the play really well, Coach, out of the back. And my goodness, though, 3 goals in 5 minutes, 2 in 2 minutes. Akinola with his first and second goals of the year, and it's 3-0. And to be honest with you, I got a chance to catch up with Tom Akinola before the game, and he had a big, wide smile on his face. Looked like he was ready to go tonight.
Matt, I'll tell you, one of my favorite guys on the squad this year, Tom Akinola, staying with John and Sarah Schuster over the summer, so he's in the neighborhood, and I've had a chance to see him a few times. Also been working out during the day through over at UWS. Every time I see the guy, big smile, just very humble person, and just a very kind young man.
He's got some serious credentials to his back, to his name as well. He's been in the National Youth System in Canada for a few years. Scored 12 goals this last year for Lake Erie, Division II school in Ohio, and he's had a very, very, like I said, impressive start here to this game for sure. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Tom Akinola. Connor Behan, the first assist. Miles Edmondson, the assist on the second goal. And that's where we stand. And now here we go again. Here's Mahoney. Mahoney for Duluth FC. Taking it wide now. He's got Domorotsky and Akinola with him. Now overcooks the pass on the cross. And it's a little bit over anxious that time from Colin O'Mahony, but that's okay.
Yeah, he's going to chalk that up to his first start and say just easing into full form, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Duluth FC now up to 10 goals on the season, by the way. And we will have a free kick here coming up now for the Billy Goats. And boy, if you're Joy, you just got to settle things down here a little bit. That's, I think, where you need to go here, especially under a quarter of an hour before the halftime whistle here, Coach.
Yeah, you can see just some anxious touches there, and I think a good sign for Duluth FC is just a little bit of that ruthless side to them, to get up in a game, get another goal, almost immediately, get another one, right after that, and you can see they really do want to continue to drive forward and try to extend that lead.
Nice touch that time off the head from Stefan Robe. That's not an easy play to make either, heading that right back to your keeper like that.
Yeah, especially the ball in the air kind of got him twisted around a little bit, but you see the athleticism and the balance from Robe there.
Talked about the year that Stefan Robe, by the way, had for Limestone University, another D2 school. 10 assists for him from a right back position, which led his team. He was a first-team all-conference pick for Limestone, and been impressed with his skill level. As here's Domorotsky now on the run, trying to get around his former teammate. Jesse Juarez does so. And has it taken off of his foot. Duluth FC. And we saw, you know, you were talking about that ruthlessness, Coach. We saw that a lot last year, where the Blue Greens would go what we call goal hunting. After they got that first one, we saw that quite a bit a year ago. And returning here tonight against a Joy Athletic Club that maybe got a little bit down after that first goal and hung their head a little bit, maybe took it just a little bit off the gas pedal, and the Blue Greens sensing it, able to get a couple more goals quickly.
Yeah, you can see it in the way that they break out, Matt, but also in the way that they're defending and pressing right now. Again, so just another example, you saw Connor Behan actually surpass Akinola to become the furthest guy forward in the press out of the midfield there.
Miles Edmondson now plays it back. Here's Jake Starling on the right foot. Rory Doyle in his own 18. And the clearing ball now, second ball for Miles Edmondson. And now Juarez will go all the way back for Marco Duran back in Joy Athletic territory here. 34th minute. Goals from Domorotsky in the 25th minute, 29th minute for Akinola, and then the 30th minute for Akinola to make it 3-0 here.
Matt, another example there, just you saw Kostya give the ball away and then immediately start to counter press just to keep Joy facing backward, and you saw him waving the rest of the side on, trying to get numbers more up into their half.
Here's Akinola now waiting for a ball off the foot of O'Mahony, turns it wide on the right foot. Akinola trying to go around the double team, now takes it wide and tried to cross in, but he'll draw a corner kick. And Tom Akinola is having himself a first 45 minutes to remember here, Coach. 2 goals, and that was a very skillful bit of play there by the Canadian forward.
Yeah, you can see Tom trying to take more guys 1v1. Like I said, just a really kind, friendly young man, but it's really good to see kind of that ruthless side come out of him on the field now a little bit as he's, really kind of anticipating those 1v1 matchups and really kind of baiting defenders in.
So corner kick on the far side here. The Blue Greens having a little bit of a conversation over there. Looks like it'll be O'Mahony that'll take it here. Rory Doyle was also over there, but they're now going to give it to O'Mahony. He will take it on that far side corner flag. Man-for-man marking here for the Billy Goats. As we await this one now. And here it is, bending ball in the middle. A couple players rising up. Zavattini was there. Ball's loose and they score! It's Robe on the goal. I'm not sure what happened there, Coach. I think Zavattini got his head to it, just kind of laid there for a second, and then Robe, Johnny on the spot, puts it in the back of the net, his second goal of the year, and it's now 4-0.
Yeah, just a ball bouncing around the box and a toe poke there to finish it off. Ugly goals count just as pretty ones do.
Yeah, well, I felt like everybody stopped there for a second, and I wasn't quite sure if that ball was going to get through, but it's Robe.
Scoring for Duluth FC, number 27, Stefan Rowe.
I'm going to give assists on that one to Zavattini and O'Mahony, by the way. There was a lot of bodies in there, Coach, but it seemed like everybody kind of stopped when the ball went down.
Well, Matt, to be honest, I was actually trying to watch it on our screen here, but the camera was shaking so much from the energy in the crowd. If you heard on the corner leading up to it, the entire crowd stomping their feet on the bleachers,
Yeah.
and actually the camera, like I said, was shaking from it. Just fun to see that atmosphere and that energy really picking up here from the crowd tonight.
Here's Solaris now. So the Blue Greens officially now with 4 goals in 11 minutes. And here's O'Mahony coming in again, now on the edge of the 6. And that one will be tackled out. We'll have another corner kick here coming up. And I'll be honest, Coach, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. I was not expecting the game to go this way.
Matt, you saw just the touch there from Colin Mahoney, just a class touch on his left foot, the ball coming from left to right like that. And I think that's the energy, the spark that Coach Sean Morgan was trying to get out of him, was to be a bit more threatening on that far side.
Mahoney will tee it up again on the left foot. It's an in again. This one will be flicked over, and we'll do it again. That was Norik Terowitz, by the way, who was coming over to knock that one. It's one of those situations now, Coach, where if you're Joy Athletic, you're just trying to, like I said, to make it back to the half here. 4-0 remains the score here. This time it'll be a near side corner kick. Domorowski will take it. Short here, Solaris. Here's the shot. That one deflects up into the air. Domorowski got this whole thing started. Feels like a long time ago because of the 4 goals in the 25th minute. It wasn't that long ago. Now on the outside, Zenedine Croton. It's been very quiet here so far for Joy Athletic. Now they send it to the outside. Dimitri Nair now on the right foot. He'll cross it in. Starling measuring it with the head ball, clears it away. And here now is Domorowski. Back for Jake Starling in the middle now, Solaris. And now ball finds its way to the feet of Miles Edmondson. He's got Akinola with him. Sends it to the outside now, Akinola. Edge of the 18. Now on, here's Edmondson. Into the middle, here's a shot, and that one just goes over the top. And that's another corner is coming through. Getting his foot to that one was Rory Doyle, wow.
Good reaction save there from Ahmed. That was another dangerous play, Matt.
It was. Actually, it was O'Mahony. I'll take that back. But, wow, another counterattack by Duluth FC. And Blue Green's just right now finding offense, it feels like, from everywhere, Coach.
Yeah, they've been good on the break. They've been good in the build-up. They've been good on set pieces, Matt.
Bending ball here from Domorowski, and that one will carry over the top of everybody and will result in a goal kick here coming up. Just about 5 minutes and change here before the break, but, wow. Offensive explosion. First one we've seen this year from the Blue Greens.
Yeah, I'm sure a big sigh of relief from Coach Sean Morgan, wherever he's watching this game from tonight.
Right. Yep.
To be able to just kind of kick his feet up and watch this all go down. I'm sure acting head coach Greg Gilmore enjoying the first half. I think this has been maybe the most complete half that we've seen out of Duluth in the first 4 games.
This is as sharp as we've seen them for sure. They had a lot of, I thought, in the first 3 games, I thought they played pretty well for about 75 minutes against Minnesota Twin Stars. I thought they were good for the balance of the night against Sioux Falls. Had some moments of struggles we talked about against La Crosse Eris on Wednesday, but tonight they've really been pretty much sharp from the beginning. And you see the results, 4-0 the lead here as we go into the 41st minute, from Public School Stadium. Here's Starling now. He'll send it to the outside. Edmondson. Miles Edmondson. Solaris. Jake Starling coming forward again. Well done by Jake to pick out Miles Edmondson on the wing. And nicely done, though, by Jesse Wars to break that one up.
Matt, you see again there, just Joy having a hard time, even in that first. Let this one play out.
Yeah, here's Domorowski off the turnover. Stepping in is Doyle, and he fires one that goes high and wide.
Yeah, that shot actually had some pretty gnarly bend to it, didn't it?
Now Rory Doyle getting into that one. Hit a little bit, I think, with the outside of his boot. Had a nice, like you said, slicing kind of action to it. But right now it almost feels like a shooting gallery when it gets on this end of the field, Coach. And certainly if that's the case, if you're, like I said, Joy Athletic, you got to get to the break and try to reassess things here. As we have a Duluth FC player now down. Looks like he taken one up in the chops. Is that Robe?
Yeah, I think he took an elbow or an arm to the face there on the last challenge.
Acting head coach Greg Gilmore right now having a conversation over there. With O'Mahony, it appears, and Robe up to his feet here. And
yeah, hopefully one of those situations where it stings a little bit. We've all been there where you take a knock into the face, from a flailing arm or, like I said, an elbow or a shoulder or whatever. And it stings. It'll put you down on the turf for, a minute or so, but hopefully all's well. Looks like he's going to be able to continue.
Yep. Christy Wilkie, of course, our intrepid trainer. She's the only trainer in the history of Duluth FC. Coming over to have a look, and it looks like I said, Stefan Robe's going to stay in, at least for now, as we go into the 43rd minute, although see if any changes are going to be made here. The Blue Greens are going to get a little bit of warm-up action going on their bench over there. Players now beginning to loosen up a bit.
Now, with the way our spring kind of drug on this year, I was afraid maybe we wouldn't have Christy Wilkie available. She'd be still up on the slopes with her other job, ski patrol.
Yep.
But summer is here, and we're feeling good, Matt.
It's good to see her, too. I haven't really gotten a chance to catch up with Christy. She's, like I said, she's one of the old hats for the club, excuse me. Yeah, it's off the throw, and now everybody stopped for some reason. And they're waiting for a foul call that didn't come. And now it's on the outside. Here's Edmondson. Miles Edmondson now making his way toward the midfield stripe. Doyle. Rory Doyle trying to step through. Somehow got through 3 players. Now gets it in the middle. Here's Behan. To the outside now. And it just skips over the left boot of O'Mahony. We'll have a throw here coming up.
Yeah, you can. Another situation where you can kind of see O'Mahony is so used to playing on the left side. So every kind of first touch that he's trying to take, from the left to right there, he's kind of stretched that left foot out, and that one just, because he's used to playing on the left side, I'm sure used to taking that first touch left-footed. But that's one where I think if he would have gone with his right foot, he would have probably been in better shape. Substitution already. Yeah,
Tom Akinola's going to come out. Tyler Limmer going to check in. I'm wondering if Akinola might have a little bit of a issue over there. He's going over to have a chat with Christy Wilkie. So Tyler Limmer, though, comes in. NPSL veteran, I guess you could say, for Tyler Limmer. He's been around the block a few times here, Coach, over the years.
Yeah, and at a couple different clubs.
Yep. Spent some time with Sioux Falls Slender. We've talked about that. Also played with the Des Moines Menace for a bit in the USL.
Number 9, Tyler Limmer.
As Foltz now gives the right over the top. Behan now, smallest guy in that group. Now we'll flick it forward. Here's Limmer. Outside Domorotsky, Limmer in support. Now step over by Domorotsky. Comes inside, tries to cheekily, I would say, cross that toward the 6. Cleared away, and now here is Jake Starling. He'll go all the way back for Foltz. It's amazing how this game has changed over that 12-minute span, Coach. It was very tight for the first about almost half hour, 25 minutes or so, and then these 4 goals have really opened things up. Here's Solaris now. Behan now checking back. And back for Starling. And suddenly, Zeke Foltz feeling probably pretty secure back there in goal at the moment. Here's Robe now stepping through. Has through ball intercepted. Now Zavattini. And that one will go out of play. It'll be a throw here coming up as we're now officially in the extra time here. At halftime, we'll take an extended break. Everybody catch their breath here. We need to do it as well. It's 4-0.
Matt, there's been a lot to talk about, right?
Yeah, there has. Kantorowicz now. Noah Kantorowicz outside. Jesse Juarez here for Joy Athletic. Ball over the top now. Here's Croton. Nadine Croton now being tackled. Nice defensive play by Connor Behan. Now to the outside. Here's Domorotsky. Has Limmer with him. Tried to get it to Tyler Limmer. Now on the backside. Nobody making the run up the far wing, Coach.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea, though, by Coach J trying to get Limmer involved there in the middle.
Yeah, he's got to play that ball probably 3-4 yards ahead of where he did, give Limmer a chance to run onto it to actually turn Limmer around there.
Now Limmer trying to step to that ball, and it gets cleared back toward midfield. Zavattini will bring it down. Robe. Well done to pick out Jake Starling. Now Doyle back for Jake Starling again. And a good way for Duluth FC, I think, to get the week started too, Coach. I mean, technically it is Saturday, so the week hasn't officially started, but good way to start, I think, with Med City coming in here on Wednesday, too. You want to get some of that momentum, because that'll be a big game with the Mayhem. It always is. There's this ball over top. Now O'Mahony behind the D. Now with the left-footed flick, and he just couldn't quite bring it down in time. Ends up flicking it over the top. You get a look at Colin O'Mahony there walking back. And now off the restart. Probably about 2 or 3 minutes of added time would be my guess here before we get our halftime whistle. But what a half it's been. Definitely the best half we've seen Duluth FC play this year. Juarez now popping it in the air. Here's Limmer rising up with Kantorowicz. Domorotsky now trying to come in and poach the ball, and we get the whistle. And 2 minutes of extra time is what we get. 45 minutes officially in the books, and Coach, 4 goals in a total of 11 minutes has opened this game up. 4-0 Duluth FC at the break, and I don't know what else you can say about that opening 45 other than pretty dominant performance there, especially that last 20, 25 minutes or so.
Well, Matt, like we said, I think that's the most complete half that we've seen from Duluth FC. It'll be interesting to see if there's any adjustments made at halftime. I'm sure from Joy's side there will be some adjustments made. Interesting to see here what acting head coach Greg Gilmore will do. Obviously, not a lot to change, but you want to keep your foot on the gas here and really attack the second half.
Recapping the scoring in that opening 45 minutes, Kostya Domorowski, his team leading 4th goal of the season in the 25th minute to make it 1-0. Tom Akinola scored first one off an assist from Connor Behan in the 29th minute, and then off an assist from Miles Edmondson in the 30th to make it 3-0. And then the 36th minute, Stefan Robe off of assist from Zabatini and O'Mahony to make it 4-0, and that's where we stand here at the break. So 4-0 your score at the intermission, and with that being the case, Coach Boney and myself will take a quick break, extended audio break, and we'll come back with the start of the second half of this NPSL North clash between the Blue Greens of Duluth FC and the Billy Goats of Joy Athletic in about 10, 11 minutes or so. That's coming up after this. 4-0 your score. We'll be right back with more Duluth FC soccer, courtesy of the Blue Green Stream Team.
am Dr. Lauren Wallace. I am one of the primary care physicians at St. Luke's Miller Creek Medical Clinic. I always tell people the most important thing is that they are in control of their health. We talk about joint decision makings. It's a decision that we make together on what's the next step. I want them to improve their health, right? That's the whole goal of medicine. And so we sit down and we talk about, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And then we make a plan. How do we get to that point in the healthiest way possible?
Matt Johnson, but back alongside, head coach of the UW Superior Yellow Jackets, Joe Mooney. And unfortunately, we're having a few technical problems, but we're just going to do this radio style here until we figure out what's going on with our center cam. 4-0 your score here. Second half about ready to get underway here as the Blue Greens and Joy Athletic, 45 minutes. Still left to play here. The Blue Greens 4 goals in that first half, Coach, as the second half whistle underway. And I mean, not much more Duluth FC could do in that first 45 minutes, Coach. Very impressive across the board.
Yeah, like we said, Matt, a couple times, a complete first half there for Duluth FC. Be interesting to see if Joy will make any adjustments here, either tactically to the lineup or even just to the system of play.
So we have a free kick, by the way, for the Blue Greens at the midfield stripe, taken by Stefan Robe, who has one of the 4 goals tonight here for Duluth FC. As Dylan Zabatini now sends it cross field to his central defensive partner, Jake Starling. Starling will go right back for Zabatini. He'll make his way toward the midfield stripe here on the right foot. Crosses over into Joy Athletic territory, and then fortunately finds a pass that's a little bit behind Stefan Robe, out of play. A throw coming up here for the Goats, which is promptly intercepted by Robe. Now he's starting to run back to their direction. Connor Behan now on the right sideline. Back here is Solars, bending ball top of the Joy 18. Skipped over the foot of Rory Doyle. Bennett Kwame was able to get a head to it momentarily, and now Kwame, off of a second ball now, will get it to the outside. This is Micah Folstead, who had a quiet first half, and will have a now foul called on Duluth FC here. About 30 yards away from the Joy Athletic goal, man by Ayub Ahmed, who had a rough first half in goal. And as there we are, we're back. So our technical problems were, thankfully, thanks to the skill of our production team, momentary. But now we're back again. So
good to be back here, Matt. Looks like just the one substitution here from Joy at half. It looks like Noah Eklund on the left back coming in for Jorge Radia. Noah Eklund, another St. Cloud Husky. Transfer student, was at Northern Michigan in his freshman year. Transferred over to St. Cloud this last year. Terrific left back, Twin Cities native.
Dylan Zabatini now on the right foot. Square ball to the outside. Here's Starling now bending ball. And I've been looking for O'Mahony on the wing. That one knocked down by Joy, and now the Goats trying to come back to their direction. There's Polstad with it. His ball off the foot of Dimitri Nair, and now it's Connor Behan, who has an assist in this game, to the outside. Now here's O'Mahony. O'Mahony top of the 18.
Matt, I think he maybe had a chance to actually pull back and have a shot there. He
has
space in front of him to maybe do that.
And now here's Robe, and he'll play it off of Volstead, and we'll have a throw here coming up for the Blue Greens. Near sideline as the throw comes in. Zabatini goes back now for Foltz, top of the 18. Outside of his box, in fact, and now he'll go for Jake Starling. Miles Edmondson, who also has an assist in this game. Blue Greens spreading around the points tonight. Here's Behan now stepping through. A little bit of a heavy touch. Trying to step through. The aforementioned Noah Eklund getting his foot to that one for Joy Athletic, and now here's Kwame. Bennett Kwame stood up on a nice defensive play here by O'Mahony to the outside. Here's Limmer. Limmer now across the face of goal, and that one cleared away from the danger area by Kantorowicz. Ball still loose. Shot attempt off the right foot that time of O'Mahony. Deflects away, top of the 18. Now they try to head it back in front. Cleared away, and now we're going to have a foul called against, I think, Zabatini. Actually, they're going to say Solaris. Free kick here coming up for the Goats, but the offense still looking like it's pretty dangerous here tonight for the Blue Greens, despite a 4-goal cushion here, Coach.
Yeah, that one led to that one was Bennett Kwame just spending a little bit too much time on the ball, trying to do a little bit too much on his own. Obviously stripped the ball and numbers forward for Duluth FC, and once again look very dangerous.
Kantorowicz now trying to come forward here for the Billy Goats in the middle now. Here is Owen Salzwedel. Played through the middle. That one again broken up. Tight space in there right now. A lot of bodies in the middle of the park. Now here's Limmer. Back outside O'Mahony. Colin O'Mahony now coming across midfield stripe. Nair takes him down. No call, we play on. To the outside now, it's Miles Edmondson. Pass to Domorotsky, 30 yards away from goal. Couple step overs from the Ukrainian midfielder. Has it taken off of his foot, now to the outside. Juarez, and it'll go out of play. And it'll be a Duluth FC throw. And
Matt, another example there. I mentioned this in the first half. You see where Duluth loses the ball, but they're instantly into the counter press, and they're just not allowing Joy to have anything easy out of the back. And so even though they lost the ball forward there, Kostia lost it, was right back up to press that play.
we have Paul Bobai coming into the game. He'll take out Connor Behan. Strong shift for Behan today there, Coach. That's
really
about 50 minutes.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. Was just going to say I really enjoyed his game. And again, going back to Wednesday's game, thought he was all over the park. Tonight, you know, you talk about some of those pesky players in the midfield that just don't allow any space for Joy, and he was all over the place defensively, and then in the attacking third as well.
So 50 minutes of game time for Behan. He's out. Bobai comes in. And here's Kantorowicz now on the right foot.
Paul Boboi's had a really nice start to his summer. You know, last summer it just didn't ever seem to really fully materialize for him. He had a couple decent stretches in there, but just couldn't kind of string it all together.
Here's Limmer now coming through, and he scores!
Class finish there from Tyler Limmer.
Yeah, that's a turnover on that one. Well done that time. And it's 5-0. That goal coming in the 52nd minute. For Limmer, his second goal of the year. And just a turnover by Joy deep in their own territory, and a nice little touch out there.
Yeah, Matt, it's actually a much more difficult finish than it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, you see a guy that's in 1v1 with the goalkeeper, and you think this is going to be simple, but the pass didn't have a ton of weight on it, so he actually had to wait for that ball to come into him. And when you're waiting for it to come past your shoulder like that, you've got to hold your momentum and then still generate enough power on the ball. So it's actually a tougher finish than it looks like. And man, Tyler Limmer, he took that very well.
Yeah, I wanted to give the assist on that one to Doyle. That was a nice little play there as well out the turnover, but nice little deft touch too by Doyle, not trying to hurry anything, Coach. Getting to the outside, and Limmer, who is a proven goal scorer, scored 53 of them in his college career. He knows how to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's a decent chunk of goals.
And there's Ahmed again, living dangerously as Limmer, putting more pressure on, and now here's a ball toward midfield, and Joyce just kind of coming apart a little bit here, Coach. I hate to say it that way, but 5 goals here in 50 minutes for the Blue Greens, and they're still pressing for more, it looks like here. Doyle in the middle now. Here's Domorotsky. Goes to Domorotsky on the right foot. Turns and fires, and big save there by Ahmed. And a dive to his right. Tips it over the end line. Corner kick here coming up. And right now it's just a shooting gallery back there. We talked about that in the first half, but that's really what it's become here.
Good save there from Ahmed. I don't think that Kostia got everything on that ball that he would have liked to. Still, I mean, you know, coming across his body, still was able to generate enough power to test the goalkeeper. But
corner kick now. Here's Domorotsky. Mass of Humanity in the 6th, and now we're going to have a little talking to by our center referee here.
Just a little chat here, make sure everybody's playing nicely in the sandbox.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get too many elbows up, and that's what you're afraid of in a game like this. It's Domorotsky bends it back post. Bobai back across the face. Stepping through, here's O'Mahony with the shot, and that one will go wide.
Yeah, but he's waiting to catch one cleanly and sweetly, I think. And
with that left foot,
yeah. And it'll come again. A lot of these guys are getting into mid-season form, 4 games in, and I think he's more into that early season form because he's just joined the team.
That'll be the last action of this one for O'Mahony, and he deserves a round of applause as well. He had a really nice game here tonight, his home debut, and put together 55 minutes or so of really good play here for the Blue Greens.
Well, Matt, again, I think they've been looking for some of that electric play in the channel. We've seen flashes of it from different guys that have played out there. But I think that for Colin O'Mahony, he probably showed a little bit more of a true presence out there than maybe any of the other options have up to this point. So a good shift for him tonight, and a good kind of entrance into Duluth FC this summer.
Yeah, Felipe Artiega, by the way, back in the game now for Duluth FC. He's the substitute, takes out O'Mahony.
And he had a nice night on Wednesday. He
Yeah.
came on as a sub, and you know, he looked sharp and just, I think, provided a lot of that sharpness and just energy in the wing. You know, kind of always ducking behind the back line. You see him checking the ball there. He'll cover a lot of ground here in the next 35 minutes or so.
There's another turnover. Here's Bobai now coming forward. Gives it back. Here's Artiega. He'll wind up. That one deflects. Top of the 18, right back for Felipe Artiega. Turns, crosses it in. Ball trying to be settled there by Doyle. Now it comes out. Here's Bobai. Waiting for it. Bobai with the shot, and that one comes in. Not as much venom on that as you wanted again, Coach, but a nice save by Ahmed regardless. But again, Duluth FC right now, like I said, looking dangerous every time they're in the offensive end right now.
Well, Matt, I'm a bit surprised by Joy right now. You know, in the early stages of the game, I was really impressed with a lot of their one-touch passing. They really strung together some nice sequences. Really, from the opening kickoff, they looked very sharp.
Right.
But a lot of the opportunities that have been afforded to Duluth tonight have come off of turnovers. And they've come off of turnovers after midfielders have taken multiple touches.
Yeah, too many touches right now for the Billy Goats, and it's gotten them in trouble. That last goal by Limmer being a classic result of just too many touches and just not, you know, just not being decisive with the ball. And here's Zavattini now. Dylan Zavattini. Square ball now. Jake Starling. Angling ball picks out Miles Edmondson. Edmondson, nice touch forward. Now here's Domorotsky. Kantorowicz trying to check him. Domorotsky now on the outside. Trying to step in and out. Instead, he'll draw a throw. And this throw now will be taken by the Blue Greens. As looks like Duluth FC no hurry to take this throw. Edmondson doing some adjusting of his footwear, it appears, over there before he takes this toss. Looks like Duluth FC also going to make another substitution. Manny Morales going to check in for the first time at the next opportunity as the throw finally taken by Edmondson, and then the touch back for him. A little off.
A little too much there from Limmer. Yeah. So, Matt, one of the interesting notes here as we're waiting for the sub to come on. So if you think back to last week's game, Dylan Zavattini came on at half, shifted Ken Pride, who was playing center back, out to the right back. Zavattini came in as the left center back. Jake Starling was the right center back. Tonight they've switched, and it was the same in the first half, where Jake was actually the left center back, Zavattini on the right. And I just wonder if there's a little bit, you know, of just a little bit better chemistry that way that we've seen tonight. It certainly seemed to work well, so I wonder if that's something that maybe they just, you know, it's little things like that, you know, in your first few games of the season that you're trying to get sorted out.
So Domorotsky's night is over, by the way. Kostya coming out, Morales coming in to substitute for him. Morales didn't suit up against Lacrosse Aris on Wednesday. And they're now, though, 5-goal lead. Might as well get the subs as much playing time as possible here, Coach, in a 5-goal game.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned, I mean, obviously both teams want to get out of here with any kind of injuries or anything that's going to linger into future games in the season. So getting fresh legs on and not putting too many miles onto guys early in the season is a smart play, I think.
Dimitri Nair now coming in, left-footed ball into the 18. Well done and well read that time by Edmondson to break it up. Now here's Kawami, edge of the Duluth 18 again. Here's Nair now stepping inside. Dimitri Nair back for Kawami. Left-foot ball in the middle, and that one will skim a few heads, at least one head, and now Foltz, who hasn't had much to do here so far on the evening, Coach, goes back there and scoops that one off the turf.
Matt, like we said, we've mentioned Bennett Kwami's name a couple times for Joy. St. Thomas product, plays down there in his sophomore year. Also part of the futsal national team. A couple guys in this Joy team have played at a pretty high futsal level as well. The club stays together in the winter time and does that. And you see during stretches some of his quality and just footwork on the ball.
Bending ball now off the right foot of Stefan Robe, gets broken up. Tawa now back for the aforementioned Kawami. Bennett Kawami now to the outside, intercepted by Robe. He's just really steady, isn't he, Stefan Robe? I mean, he does pretty much everything very well out there at that right outside back position, it seems.
Yeah, Matt, he's the kind of player that coaches love to coach because he'll do anything you want or ask of him. You see him, really, again, provide a lot of offensive potency. but he's also the first guy to track back. You'd never see him kind of linger up in the attacking third when there's a breakaway. Like we said, I mean, came in clutch on Wednesday night, had 2 line clearances to keep that 1-goal lead.
And now we're going to have a couple substitutions here for Joy. First time that they've made multiple substitutions at one time. We'll get those substitutions for you here in a minute. One of them is Freddie Fernandez, and the other, Nielsen Ramos. That's off the throw. We're going to have a foul called here on that far side. That'll be Solaris. 61st minute. Actually, they're going to give a yellow card, it appears, here to Rory Doyle.
That's a yellow card. Sponsored by your friends over at Yellow White Coffee.
So free kick here coming up in a 5-goal contest. Joy after today will be taking on Sioux Falls. That'll be on Wednesday as well. They're going back to Oriole Stadium, their home turf in St. Louis Park. And it'll be, like I said, a free kick taken here by Jesse Juarez. Here's Ahmed now toward midfield. Volleyed out of there by Solaris. Sent right back toward the midfield stripe. Here's Croton now to the outside. Salzwedel in the middle, and Robe again backing up Zavattini. Goes back for Foltz, who will just give it a ride toward midfield. Bobai trying to bring it down. Starling, Doyle. It's a bit of footwork there to avoid the foul. Now to the outside, here's Robe. Stefan Robe to the outside, Artiega. Back for Robe. Robe trying to step through. Stefan Robe making a move to the middle of the 18, and very offensive minded. We've talked about how strong he is defensively, coach. Physical presence, but
yeah,
he likes getting up in the attack. We've seen that already this summer. And
yeah, nice touch inside there from Stefan Robe. Looks like Kean Gantley coming in for Andreas Solaris.
Kean Gantley going to come in. Solaris going to check out. So he plays the holding midfield role then. Guessing it'll be Doyle.
Well, they might keep
Kean Gantley in there. Yeah, we'll see.
This last year for his college team, played a bit of the CDM.
Okay.
Quite a bit of the CDM for his college team, and so it looks like that's what they're going to do, is kind of a like for like there.
He plays for Texas Wesleyan. He's NAIA school. Excuse me, Tennessee Wesleyan. One on top, left-footed ball comes in, and that one might have been going wide, but Holt's not willing to take any chances, decides to go out there and grab it anyway. That one off the left foot of Owen Salzwedel. First shot that Joy's had in a while.
Yeah, Zeke just staying active there, getting his hands on it.
And now we're going to have a whistle, and it's like a free kick here. And we have a blue-green player down on one knee. That, by the way, to your left of your screen there, that's Dylan Zavattini, but looked like it was more of an equipment adjustment than anything else. As off the restart now, it's Starling. Squaring it up now for the aforementioned Zavattini. Name of Santa Catarina, Brazil. Certainly happy to have him this summer. He's seen him a couple times already this year, coach, but he's a very heady, strong player physically. And now here's a long ball forward. And Martiega, here's Limmer. Limmer now getting an inside step, gets a shot away, and that one rises just high over the bar, and Limmer making a bid for his second goal of the night.
Wow, what a nice run from him to kind of pull it across to the right side and just kind of duck on side there, and
Limmer
got himself into a bunch of space.
Got that kind of gazelle-like loping stride to him. He's, if you haven't ever seen Tyler Limmer up close, he's about 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in that range. And
yeah, kind of elected for power there on that shot, Matt. I think if he would have kept it low and gone to his left, keeper right on that, there was definitely space for him to be able to slot that home.
Corner kick here now for the Blue Greens. In the middle now, rising up, getting ahead to it again was Zavattini. And you talked about that. He's one of those guys gets up, likes to come up on corner kicks and get his head to the ball, and did it again there. Didn't get as much power as he wanted, but still able to get his head to it.
Well, you just saw the sort of the vertical that he had kind of rising above the rest of the crowd there.
Here's Duran now to the outside. Noah Eklund in the middle. Another turnover. That's just been kind of a constant theme here. As this ball goes forward, flag stays down. Limmer now makes a move, and he will score.
That time he got it right, Matt.
Yeah. That was Paul Bobai off the pass, by the way, so Bobai will get the assist. The goal to Limmer, his third of the season. Again, those turnovers in the middle of the field just really hurting Joy tonight.
Yeah, Matt. Again, much more composed finish from Tyler Limmer there. Again, to find himself in the space and then to keep that ball low. I do want to talk about the assist there, too, because it was very crafty from Paul Bobai. You saw him just kind of look off to the left, kind of feint to his left, pull it back across to his right, and then perfectly weighted, great angle on that ball. Really nice pass by Paul Bobai, and again, a class finish from Tyler Limmer.
Yep. Limmer now with 3 goals on the season. Keeping track, though, on the season here so far. Domorotsky now with 4, Limmer with 3, Ekanola with 2. Again, some more balanced scoring here.
These flag kids are getting a workout down there, Matt. Every time they score, we've got flag runners, and they are certainly getting their steps in tonight.
6 goals for the Blue Greens. They had a 4-goal cushion at the break, and then Tyler Limmer, these 2 goals here after the break. One from Rory Doyle, the other one from Paul Bobai, and it's now 6-0. And a game that I think, for the most part, Coach, we talked about it off air. Surprises us with how this game has gone, really. I mean, Joy has had a couple of really good results, played Med City very tight on Wednesday, and this game, though, has just got away from them in a hurry.
Well, Matt, we talked about it, right at the beginning. We kind of expected it to be a kind of a pragmatic approach to the game, where we didn't think there would be a lot of
25 minutes or so.
Yeah, we didn't think there'd be a lot of chances. There kind of weren't, and then we said they would grow into it, and by the end, we would see a lot of chances in kind of a back and forth game. So I think we got that right. I don't know that we expected to see 6 goals on one side. Still with 23 minutes to play.
Yeah, exactly. So here's another turnover. Bobai now stepping through. Still trying to get the ball away, and now they're going to, like, he would have maybe given a penalty. It was not a 6-0 score there, but that was maybe.
Yeah, I think Paul was probably looking for it. I think he left his legs in there a little bit. Question marks from the crowd and from
and from our public address announcer as well. Have to take a look at that one again, but wow.
Yeah, I don't think you're given the penalty in that situation, Matt. Like I said, I think he was already kind of going down. He left his leg in a bit.
Ken Pride's going to come in now. Looks like he's going to replace Jake Starling, and with 20 minutes to go, why not again? A 6-goal cushion. There's no reason not to play all 18 if you can get them all in there. That have suited up tonight is Morales now to the outside. Here's Kean Gantley. Gantley now back for Manny Morales. Here's Morales. Taking it deep. Left-footed ball into the middle. Looking for Artiega. Cleared away momentarily. Now Gantley. Nice touch to the outside. Edmondson. Back post. Artiega trying to flick it back across the face of goal, and not a bad idea. Artiega. Nice ball from Edmondson, too.
Yeah, Matt, not sure if he was trying to go for goal there or if he was looking for Limmer to make the run kind of back to that front post.
Goal kick here for Ahmed, who's had a rough night. To be honest with you, though, I don't know if he's gotten a whole lot of help back there either.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're pulling the ball out of your net a few times in a half like that.
Edmondson now with the flick over midfield. Here's Limmer again. Morales. Manny Morales now trying to take to the outside. He gets hit from behind, and we're going to have a foul called, and that'll be a card. We'll have a conversation here at least.
Yeah, I think just a foul there, Matt. Probably not a card.
Again, these two teams will meet on June 24th. See, I'm already getting way ahead of myself.
I won't be here in January, Matt.
I will not be either.
I will not be occupying this booth.
If I'm in this booth on January 24th, it's going to be for a very, very bad reason. So we
I don't know
restart.
what the heating system is like in this booth.
Yeah, we know what it is. We know how the air conditioning is in here, and it's nice and warm and steamy up here for the most part. No thanks, Pat. We're good right now. Thanks. Yes, I'm sure. Thank you.
Pat Sterner always willing to help.
Always willing to help us out. But yeah, June 24th will be the next time these two teams play. That'll be at Oriole Stadium down in St. Louis Park, as this ball now finds its way all the way back for Ahmed, and a foul going to be called on Limmer. Came in a little aggressively, though, on Joseph Tawa, so probably the right call, I would say.
Yeah, I think
shoulder to shoulder, but it came in from behind, and that's.
Yeah, he's kind of leading into that play there, Limmer was, and one of those kind of risk versus reward. You take the risk, and if you do get called for the foul, so be it. But if not, you get to put a little extra pressure on, and always an opportunity to kind of nip that ball and have a chance at goal.
So off the restart now, ball to the outside. And now coming all the way back. And Rory Doyle. And Doyle, not a guy we've talked a lot about, Coach, but definitely plays a full field game and not afraid to come back and make plays defensively. We've seen him also involved offensively tonight.
Yeah, and it looks like he's more occupied in that CDM role that we thought maybe Gantley would come in and take, and it looks like maybe they've kind of swapped. And I don't know if that's just kind of here in the last couple minutes that they're just kind of reversing roles, or if that was a tactical decision made from the sideline.
Well, speaking of heady plays, Stefan Robe able to play that ball off of the forward coming up on the left-hand side here. Being Micah Folstad and able to draw the goal kick, which was taken by Foltz. Well, here's Edmondson on the outside. Miles Edmondson, who we've lauded already this season, Coach, for his ability to run the wing. Between him and Robe, you've got two guys that really like to get up in the play and certainly are skilled at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Full snow back again. Here's Ken Pride getting a touch on it now on the outside. Started in the middle defensively against Lacrosse Aris, alongside Santi Arazo, who isn't in uniform tonight. Comes in for Jake Starling here in the second half. That was who Pride came in for. There's this ball now clipped over the top. Here's Artiega on the run. Hit by Artiega into the corner. It's Noah Eklund. Back now, here's Robe. Stefan Robe will go all the way back now. Here's Dylan Zabatini. Obai, Zabatini. Robe, back for Zabatini. Now Eklund. Turnover, Zabatini. To the outside, Artiega. Trying to cross it, and that'll result in a corner kick here as it deflects out off of Marco Duran. Corner kick near side here for the Blue Greens.
Well done there from Dylan Zabatini to release that final entry ball. Good bit of play and possession there from Duluth.
Ian Gantley will take this one. Near side corner flag. As he plays it in. Goes through a couple of bodies. Now Freddie Fernandez taking it to the outside. Or the Goats. Play it back. There's Duran again. For Eklund. Against Morales, and just the passing just not there. The spacing, the runs just aren't quite timed up right now for the Goats, and you can see through the body language of the Joy players that they're just not clicking on the same page right now.
Yeah, and again, a lot of that credit has to go to Duluth FC for the way that they're pressing. They've really taken away a lot of the angles. I think angles that Joy's kind of been used to having open and available to them. Duluth has stepped into. They've done a good job scouting this game and finding some of those pockets where they can press into.
long ball from the back as we're into the 75th minute here. Comes all the way into Duluth FC territory, and Pride will send it back now for Foltz. Foltz now will send it near side. Here's Robe. Waiting for it to come down.
Calmly done there from Zeke, yeah.
Yeah. Zabatini.
Zeke's had a bit more distribution here over the last couple minutes, and he's looked good on that. Found good outlet options.
Doyle now back outside. Here's Pride. Again, Pride's ball toward midfield, out of the reach of Archiega. We now have switched sides. He's come now to the left side. They've moved Manny Morales down to the right side. So just a switch up there. Just trying to find maybe a little bit of space to exploit.
Yeah, and sometimes you look at, you know, just kind of those options to see if you can get different matchups that are more favorable to one player or the other. Get one player kind of on a inverted or in-swinging opportunities.
Now Doyle, Edmondson, far side. Continues on, here's Bobai. Nigerian midfielder now trying to play it through. Nice step through now by Edmondson. A little bit of a heavy touch. Cost him on that one. Trying to come in though. Now here's Zabatini. Back outside now, Robe. High arcing ball back post. Archiega now. Limmer at the 6 and couldn't find it.
I think Limmer was actually kind of eyeing that one up for maybe a half volley as it came over his head. A minute ago, Matt, we were talking about Rory Doyle and just kind of his role tonight. I think he's kind of enjoyed here the last few minutes. I mean, he put a lot of miles on it, it felt like, in the first 60 minutes of the game. Like we said, now he's kind of taken on that more, you know, number 6 role, CDM role, and I think probably just enjoying that, you know, a little bit more of respite in that spot now. As like I said, he had a pretty industrial role the first 60 minutes.
Looks like Eklund will take the throw here near sideline. Comes in now, looking for Ramos. Here's Doyle again. Nice ball into space. Here's Limmer. He'll line it up, gets a shot away, and nice save there by Ahmed.
That would have been some assist there from Rory Doyle, just as we were talking about him.
Assisted on Limmer's first goal. And
yeah. Boy, he sprung into space really nicely there, Matt. And again, just the quality on the angle and the weight of that pass to find Limmer there in stride is really, it's a next level type player.
One of the things about Doyle, we saw him make his way through a couple different players. And what I was going to talk about, Coach, we've gotten used to seeing it from Coach Domorotsky, where he's got that extra little touch where he sometimes can just dance through a couple players. But we've seen Doyle do that several times tonight as well, where he's just going to create a little bit of space.
Yeah.
You know, in between 2, maybe 3 defenders at a time.
Yeah.
Here's Nielsen Ramos now into the middle. Now out on top, here's Fernandez trying to get a shot away. That one deflects away. But that's not an easy skill to have. That's one of those things you either have or you don't, where you can make those quick little turns. Now here's Eklund coming in at an angle, and now here's Morales, and now he'll be grabbed and brought to the turf by Noah Eklund, who was trying to make that move up the left side.
Matt, 2 turnovers there in the midfield. Both of them kind of attributed to Kean Gantley, and not a real hurried effort to kind of get back and involved in the play. And I would think that's probably going to be something that either Coach Greg Gilmore or Sean Morgan will bring up.
Especially going to that game on Wednesday against Med City. That's what we anticipate will be an important clash as the season wears on here, especially with those Midwest region playoff spots potentially, you know, up for grabs. And you know, it's still early yet. We're not even halfway through the campaign, but it's one of those, again, where you want to make sure that you're as sharp as you possibly can for those games against that team. Actually, Duluth FC's next couple of games figured to be challenges against the Mayhem, and then they also play the Dakota Fusion here coming up soon. The Fusion have looked good here early in the season, so.
Well, Matt, I think over the last few summers, what we've seen will probably hold true this summer as well. Like, that you really can't afford to give up a lot of points throughout your campaign. There just aren't that many games, and so you really have to take care of those points. You have to be willing to put that effort in to get 3 points off every game. You know, if you drop more than, you know, really more than 1 result, maybe 2, you kind of put yourself out of contention for being top of the league. And obviously that has playoff implications. It has the ability to host. All those sorts of things come into play.
Duluth FC, of course, last year had a home playoff game against FC Columbus, which they ended up winning 3-1, and then made the trek over to Michigan for the region semifinals. As this ball now into space coming in now, here's Micah Folstad. Folstad, top of the 18, out on top. Here's a shot attempt that comes in from Danielson Ramos. That's right on target. Foltz will smother it pretty efficiently. And now here's Bobai to the outside for Edmondson.
Yeah, you always get a little bit nervous on those deflected balls there. But obviously Zeke did well to get down quickly, smother it, make sure there was no opportunity for rebounds.
Well, here's another potential turnover there. A little bit of a miscommunication between Zavattini and Robe. Good job, though, by Foltz. I mean, keeping his head up, making sure there was no long-term effects on that one, is now on the outside Edmondson. Angling ball, now Morales making a run through the middle.
Matt, my one point I guess I would make for Duluth right now is there are a couple players out there that do look a little bit leggy here.
Yeah.
Some of the guys that have been on for the full 80 minutes here, you're starting to see a little bit of separation. Guys like Stefan Robe, guys like Zavattini, Rory Doyle as well, just looking a little bit more like they're holding their space a bit more. They're not as willing to spring out of those spots. Tired legs a couple times on passes in the back. One of those things too is you're 4 games in now, you probably expect there'll be some rotation in the squad here going forward.
Right, yep. Just trying to make sure everybody gets a little bit of playing time here. And
well, again, especially with the depth that Duluth FC has.
Right, yep.
There were starters on Wednesday night that didn't make the squad at all tonight, and
there were several changes tonight to the starting lineup. There were FC, 3 of the back 4 were different players. Ken Pride did find his way in the lineup tonight, but Zavattini did not play against Lacrosse Aris. Edmondson also did not play. Stefan Robe did play.
Jake Starling did not play.
Yep, Jake Starling did not play, yep.
And again, I don't think it's a matter of form or, really any kind of knock on any of the players. It's a good rotation, that the Duluth staff has at their disposal.
Artiega did play it. So did Tyler Limmer. Speaking of Limmer, there he is on the ball. Coming in now on the 18. Cutting back against the grain, gets a shot away. That one deflects. Ball still loose, and that one just pokes wide. And holding his head a little bit on that one as he came forward was Artiega. I think he was anticipating that going in the back of the net.
Yeah, really calm there from Tyler Limmer as he sprung forward and then, to halt on a dime, change directions and get that shot off. He's looked really good tonight, hasn't he, man?
He has, yeah. He's looked very good since coming in. In the 50th minute, now here's a corner kicker coming up. Kean Gantley again will line this one up. Gantley will play it short. Here's Bobai back for Gantley. Kean Gantley now, edge of the 18, bending ball, back post, and too high for everybody. And we will have a goal kick here now for Ahmed. Duluth FC, by the way, out of subs. So this is what they're going to have to play the rest of the night with. So a little bit of legs being shown there, 84th minute. And now here's Edmondson. Going all the way back here for Zeke Foltz.
Well, I guess they do have one more sub they could make, Matt, but probably won't take that
yeah,
option.
James Price is the backup keeper for Duluth FC tonight, and there's no reason really to take Foltz out of the game. Usually,
no, I think you let Zeke stay in, get the full clean sheet there. So, I guess technically, Price could come on as a field player if he's got a hoops kit. I doubt that Greg Gilmore will reach into that in his first NPSL start as head coach.
Yep. I would say that Coach Gilmore has probably done everything probably just about as well as you could possibly do it for stepping in again. Sean Morgan unavailable.
Well, I think Morgan's going to have to arm wrestle him to get his spot back now. I think that's the NPSL protocol.
That might be a conversation that will be had later tonight after the game goes final here.
No, but again, Matt, I mean, give a big shout out to the whole Duluth FC staff. I mean, so you think about it, they get home at, I don't even know what hour after the lacrosse game on Wednesday night. So I'm sure they didn't train on Thursday.
Yeah,
and then you get sort of just a prep training session yesterday to get ready for this one. So it's a really short turnaround on a performance that you know, again, they got their 3 points. I think they're happy with that. But overall, I don't think they were thrilled with, you know, just the overall performance, right?
Yeah.
So to turn around and get this group ready for tonight's game, again, you know, a big shout out to both Sean Morgan and Greg Gilmore for their roles in getting this squad ready.
Well, the guys had some issues even getting to lacrosse. That's a story for another day. But yeah, it was not a routine road trip for Duluth FC either.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll touch on that when Coach Mooney and I know a little bit more about how that went down. But
well, just without going into it very much, just a shout out to LCS coaches and the job that they do to make sure that
it certainly was
trip
not their
was made
fault.
and everything was sorted out.
Had nothing to do with LCS, but
yeah.
It was a little bit haphazard there for a bit, and thankfully the guys were able to get there and get the game in and then get the victory on top of everything else. Those are those things you have to adjust to, though, on the road, because they're very rarely are there times where a full year worth of road trips goes perfectly according to plan. And
nice touch there from Manny.
Yeah, Manny Morales trying to make a move through, and he'll surrender a throw here as we're into the 86th minute. Also be interesting to see how much added time they put in this game, maybe a couple minutes, I would think.
I'm told that Manny Morales is the haircut guy of the team.
Oh, he does have some pretty good flow down there.
Apparently, a lot of the guys have used him as the option.
Ball coming in now, headed away by Zavattini.
And offering haircuts to the Duluth Superior area.
Oh, really?
If anybody's interested, yeah. I saw a Facebook post about it, Matt. I think it's
that.
like $15 for a haircut, so
like I said,
plus tip.
He's got a little bit of flow there going on, does Manny Morales, as he tried to spin around his defender on that one, that being the number 12 in pink, that being Owen Souswedel, as this ball now to the outside. And it's Evan Moreno, by the way, who came in several minutes back here for Joy Athletic, trying to all-run title limber, does it successfully. And now Freddie Fernandez. And here's a turn now. Jonathan Robles now spinning around Morales, and we're going to get a foul call against the hairdresser of the team, Manny Morales, apparently.
Matt, I like how aggressive Manny's been tonight. You know, he's a player. I've seen him in training. Really tidy player, great footwork, and a hard worker. I've seen him, you know, away from the field too. Again, one of the guys staying down in Superior, so been working out at UWS, and I've seen him, you know, just getting extra touches in between sessions, and I think he's a player that's going to kind of grow into the summer as well.
Throw now on the far side as we're into the 88th minute. Still not a cloud in the sky. Temperature has dropped about 10-15 degrees since opening kick, and there's again our next home game against the Mayhem coming up on May 31st. First of two meetings between the two sides. Games with Med City are always, like I said, very intense.
Yeah, another one. Again, this week, Matt, was kind of one that you circled as home games to say.
Yeah.
Joy coming up, and then obviously Med City on the midweek here will be a good test.
Now on the outside, Blue Green's trying to come forward. Now gonna step through. Here's Bobai. Paul Bobai to the outside. Left-footed ball from Edmondson. Kean Gantley now stepping around. Back to the outside again. Here's Edmondson, who's been just very, very strong on that left back position.
Matt, he's had a terrific night tonight.
Yeah.
And, you know, of the players that have gone now 88 into their 89th minute, he's a player that, to be honest, really hasn't slowed down much.
No, he's a terrific physical specimen. He plays a lot of minutes for Duluth FC, has at least so far to this point. His work rate has been very, very high. That's something the coaching staff has brought up to us a couple of times, is that Edmondson, one of those guys that doesn't seem to get tired when he's out there.
Man, he does a great job. It's a very professional approach to the game. I know the guys have talked about him in training as well and just how terrific he's been.
Here's Zavattini.
He's one of those players that I think, you know, in his first year here, he's made a real impact already. Just, I mean, only 4 games in, but one of those guys where it's like, man, I hope we can keep hold of him for a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice to have Miles out there. He adds a lot. Attacking dimension, of course, on the left side. And it's a nice compliment with Stefan Rope, of course, on the right side. We've talked about him as an attacking option at the right back position.
Touch there from Tyler Limmer.
Yeah, Limmer trying to spring Manny Morales into space. And now Morales taking it wide.
It's that instant counter press, Matt.
In the middle, and the shot from Bobai, and it just goes high. Paul Bobay making a bid for his first goal of the campaign. And as we play on here into the 90th minute now.
Matt, there's that tenacity I was just talking about with Manny. I mean, the link-up play with Tyler Limmer, in the end it was defended well from Joy, but got right back on top of it, won the ball back, and went straight toward goal, hoping to get his first assist there.
How about that distribution there from Zeke Foltz for Edmondson? Well done, young man. Here's the ball now forward. Here's Limmer again, who's been really good tonight for about 40 minutes of this game. Now here's Artiega trying to turn and go. And basically no official extra time added here. Center referee has seen enough. And that suits the Blue Greens just fine. 6-0 your final score here, Coach. And what a performance by Duluth FC. 4 goals in the first half, 2 goals in the second half, 2 guys with 2 goals. Big highlight, Tom Akinola scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes. And then 2 goals, like I said, after the half from Tyler Limmer. Additional goals from Kostya Domaratsky and Stefan Robe. And then, boy, as complete a performance as we've seen from Duluth FC in quite a while.
Well, Matt, let's stay with the 2 center forwards. I mean, each essentially playing a half apiece, and if your 2 center forwards can each get a brace in the game like that in right around 45 minutes of play each, you've done something right for sure. Again, a shout out to Greg Gilmore in his first NPSL start, getting a really nice win there. Again, I think just a professional approach to this game tonight, and a great win for Duluth.
We'll recap the scoring here. Kostya Domaratsky got all the scoring started for Duluth FC in the 25th minute with his team leading 4th goal of the season. Then it became the Tom Akinola show over the next 5 minutes. Akinola scoring his 1st goal of the season in the 29th minute off an assist from Connor Behan. That made it 2-0. And then the 30th minute, Akinola again, this time from Miles Edmondson. 3-0 Duluth FC. Wasn't done, though, in that opening 45 minutes. Stefan Rope from Zabatini and Colin O'Mahony in the 36th minute off of a corner kick. And that made it 4-0 at the break from there. Tyler Limmer comes in the 50th minute, places Akinola, and he scores his 2nd goal of the season, the 52nd minute from Rory Dole, make it 5-0. And then rounding it out, Limmer with his 3rd goal of the season, 66th minute off an assist from Paul Bobay, and that was all the scoring, and that's saying a mouthful, Coach. 6 goals for Duluth FC in the game, and like I said, we were waiting for that offense to kind of get going a little bit. They certainly had not been suffering from a dearth of scoring through the first 3 games, but tonight, boy, did they break out in a big way.
Matt, great game to watch here, and again, what a terrific outpouring of fans and support here, and the boys certainly gave them something to watch, and be happy for coming out tonight to this game. Lots to talk about. I'm sure we will, kind of leading into the broadcast for next week. But again, I'll just kind of leave by saying what a professional performance here from Duluth FC. Great to really see them kind of firing on all cylinders and really striding through this game.
4-0 now, the Blue Greens, perfect 12 points. 4 games up, 4 games down the win category for Duluth FC with the victory tonight. Meanwhile, Joy Athletic goes to 1-2 on the season. They stay on 3 points. Like I said, Duluth FC still leading the pack in the NPSL North with 12 points. Up next for the Blue Greens, they'll take a couple of days off, but then it's a big one coming up on Wednesday. They'll be back home here to take on Mid-City FC, the Mayhem, making their annual trip to Duluth. Game time there starting at 6 p.m. Coach Mooney and myself will be on with the pregame starting at 6:45 or so. A big thank you to everybody who watched. Big thank you also to the rest of our production crew. We had a couple of technical problems at halftime, but got through those, no sweat, came right back. We have as good a production team as you could possibly want, and they got us back on the air, so thank you very much to everybody on the Law family for making that happen. There was a few moments of, I think, anxiety, but we got through it. And
90 seconds, and we were back,
we were right back, and nothing got missed, so altogether not a bad night. Like I said, so a big thank you to John Law, our production engineer, and also Tara Anderson, our intrepid camera person, who does a fantastic job. And a big thank you to everybody who also tuned in. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we hope you'll join us again on Wednesday for more of the Duluth FC season for 2023. So for John and Tara and Coach Joe Mooney, this is Matt Johnson. One more time, repeating the final score. Duluth FC 6, Joy Athletic of St. Louis Park nothing. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be talking to you again on Wednesday. This has been Duluth FC Soccer, courtesy of the Blue Green Stream Team.